Anne's Family Recipe. Today I'm going to share with you 3 recipes using tater tots. So recently, a few friends of mine here on YouTube have been doing cooking videos that feature one ingredient used several different ways or in several different recipes. And I thought that was such a great idea that I wanted to kind of jump on the bandwagon myself, and I chose tater tots, or as Aldi calls them, potato puffs. So today I'm sharing with you one breakfast idea. Yes, you can have tater tots for breakfast, think like hash brown casserole, and then 2 really delicious dinner ideas. Also, I'm linking a bonus tater tot recipe video for you in my description box below. It's my tater tot nachos, also known as tachos. They have pulled pork on them and they are fabulous. So after you watch this video, you can check that out too. I'm starting with an Amish breakfast casserole that my mom's made for me a few times recently, and this recipe is awesome because it's so versatile. You could use any kind of meat. Here I'm chopping up about a 1/2 pound of bacon, but you could use diced up ham or even crumbled cooked sausage. And then I'm adding in 1 small onion that I diced up, but you could definitely eliminate that too if you don't like that oniony flavor. I'm cooking these together in a nonstick skillet over medium heat until the bacon has browned, it's nice and crispy, and the onions have softened. Then in a mixing bowl, I'm whisking together 3 eggs. I believe I halved the recipe, so I'll put the full recipe in my description box below. I seasoned the eggs with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I added in 3/4 of a cup of cottage cheese, which makes this casserole nice and creamy, but I like to use small curd cottage cheese to kind of hide it from my kids because they don't really like that texture, but it blends right into this casserole, which is nice. And then I'm adding in a cup of shredded cheddar and 1/2 cup of shredded Swiss, which I really like because I don't think that's a very common cheese to use in breakfast casseroles, and it adds just a different flavor to it. I mixed everything together, and then using a slotted spoon, I added in the cooked bacon and onions. Like I said, this was half of a recipe, so I used an 8x8 glass baking dish and sprayed it well with baking spray. So the original recipe calls for shredded hash browns or the little hash brown cubes, but I'm substituting tater tots today, and it works out perfectly. Now with any of these casseroles I'm making, you could arrange all the tater tots on the bottom of your baking dish and then pour the filling on top. You can put your filling in first and then arrange the tater tots on the top. I like them in these neat little rows. Or since they're frozen, you can just mix them right in with the filling and pour it all into the casserole dish at one time. For this, I used about 1/2 bag of tater tots and then baked it at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes, or until the eggs in the center have set up completely. Make sure you let this sit for about 10 minutes before you serve it. That way it cools a little bit and sets up nicely. This has incredible flavor, and I love the addition of the Swiss and cottage cheeses. It's just something a little bit different. Next up is a simple weeknight dinner. It's a ground beef tater tot casserole. So I'm starting with a medium onion and dicing that up. In my large nonstick skillet, I put about 2 pounds of ground beef and added in the onions, and then cooked this over about medium to medium high heat until the beef was browned and the onions had softened. Also, you can see I seasoned it with a little salt and pepper. Next, I drained all the fat using my turkey baster. In a mixing bowl off to the side, I added 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup along with 1 cup of milk. And to season this casserole, I used my Kinder's Buttery Burger Blend seasoning, which I am obsessed with. I try to incorporate this into a lot of savory dishes that I make. So I used about 2 tablespoons here. You could also use a couple tablespoons of ranch seasoning or just some garlic powder, onion powder, something to add a little bit of extra flavor to this. If you don't want to do that, just a little salt and pepper and you'll be good to go. I sprayed my 13 by 9 inch glass baking dish and added in the ground beef and onions first. Then I sprinkled my frozen tater tots all over the top and poured that cream of mushroom mixture over that. The final step is 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese sprinkled all over the top, and then this bakes at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. Last up is my favorite out of these 3 recipes. It's called Cracked Out Chicken Tater Tot Casserole. I found it on the website plainchicken.com. They have incredible recipes there, and this one has amazing flavor. So if you have some chicken on hand you can use in this casserole, that's great. Maybe chop up a rotisserie chicken, or here I'm going to show you how I poach chicken breasts, which is very easy. So I took 3 chicken breasts, I covered them with cold water, and then I placed them over kind of medium-low heat. So it took a little bit of time, but you bring the water up to a gentle simmer. You never want it at a rolling boil. Once it's simmering, you'll cook the chicken probably for about 10 to 15 minutes. You want the internal temperature to be at least 165 degrees, and then you're going to have this nice, tender, not tough chicken because you cooked it low and slow in this simmering water. In addition to prepping my diced chicken, I'm also cooking some bacon, and I like to bake mine in the oven at about 400 degrees for maybe 15 minutes or so until it's perfectly kind of chewy crisp. The sauce for this casserole is so good. It's a can of cream of chicken soup, a whole container, so 16 ounces of sour cream, and 2 tablespoons of ranch seasoning, which is the same as a packet of ranch seasoning if that's what you have in your pantry. I'm mixing this all together in a large mixing bowl along with about 3 cups of my diced cooked chicken, 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, a cup of my cooked crumbled bacon, and an entire bag of tater tots. I sprayed my 13 by 9 inch glass baking dish with baking spray and then poured all of the mixture into the pan. Just like the other 2 casseroles, this bakes at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. And this one is so creamy and decadent. I love the ranch flavor with the bacon and cheddar. This is definitely a family favorite in my household. Also, all 3 of these casseroles freeze very well, so they'd make a great gift for somebody who's not feeling well, maybe a new mom, or somebody who's just moved. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at Ann's Family Recipe, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked my 3 tater tot recipes here today. Thank you so much for joining me here in my kitchen, and I'll see you again soon with more family recipes.